We are a land asset management company. From our humble beginnings in 1979, when we acquired a 14-acre parcel on the west side of the city of Calgary, today we manage over 105,000 acres of land located in Alberta and Ontario and in Canada and in the southern smile of the United States. Our two main focuses or lines of business are what we call our exit-focused pre-development land investments. What that is longer-term land holdings, 3+ years, where we go out and we research market areas, within those market areas, infrastructure and where future infrastructure is going to be located, and then we try to buy land very close or adjacent to that existing or future infrastructure. As we're conducting our due diligence on the property, we go out and we ascertain if there's builders that are interested in acquiring these lands at some point in the future from us. So we already have a built-in exit strategy in place. Our second line of business are what we call the builder option land development funds. What that is development projects, land projects that are immediately developable. Now, Walton does not do the development on these projects. What we do, again, is we partner with national publicly traded home building companies, and we acquire the land, and these companies respectively take down the lands in phases, thereby creating a cash flow type in return and investment for our groups. We are a global business. We have offices, obviously, here in Asia. We're in Shanghai, Guangzhou, Hong Kong, Singapore. In fact, we just recently opened up in Dubai. Well, it really starts with my parents, and I'd say not just myself, but all of my siblings, and it permeates throughout the whole organization. We're a goal-oriented company. We set goals every single fall. We also believe that you have to deliver on what you say you're going to do, or at least work very hard to get that done. Another aspect of the Walton Group of Companies is that, and I say this biasly, that the people within the Walton Group work very hard. They take their work seriously, and they take their responsibility to deliver for investors on a global basis very seriously as well.
There are no real direct impacts to our business because the security in a U.S. real estate investment is really kind of protected from any of the impacts of a trade war between China and the U.S. We own a lot of land, and our investors are in these land deals with us. If you go back to 2008 and look at the impact of that recession on the housing industry, over 50% of home builders in the United States went out of business. It was a very difficult time for home builders in the United States. We don't see that happening anymore because they have reacted to that, and they are now changing their business model, which incorporates us. It incorporates us in the regard that those home builders don't want to have land on their balance sheet. They had too much land on their balance sheet in the recession of 2008, and that's why a lot of them went out of business. We love to have land on our balance sheet. That's all we have on our balance sheet is land. And so it works out well that we're happy to carry the land for them, and we're happy to sell that land to them on a just-in-time inventory type of business model. So for instance, a home builder, they don't want to have their lumber delivered too early, and they don't want to have their pipes delivered too early. They don't want to have their land delivered to them too early either. So we are able to adjust our business model to provide them the land just in time, just when they need it, so that they don't have to carry it on their balance sheet. So it works well for us, and it also works well for the home builders. The Walton Group of Companies has been in business since 1979, so for 40 years. And we've been in Asia since 1992. So we feel very comfortable that we have a long track record of success in this business of owning real estate in North America. And we are looking at opportunities to buy land and also looking at forming relationships with home builders who are, in essence, our buyers. So when we buy land, we typically will buy land from families, from farmers or ranchers who have had their land in their family for a while, but we sell the land to the home builders. And so as we see an expansion in the housing market in the next 5 to 10 years in the United States, we see a lot of opportunity not only for Walton but for our investors to be able to get a good return on their investment in the next 5 to 10 years in the United States.
Walton's going to continue to go down the road of what has made us a very strong company, and we're getting back to basics. And so we're going to focus on what made this company strong, and that is our land-based real estate investments, both our exit-focused pre-development land investments and our bold investments. And we're going to continue to work on building relationships in both Canada and the United States with builders and developers so we can work in partnership to monetize our assets so we can continue to bring quality investments to our investors and our partners in business globally. As it pertains to Taiwan, the first time I came to Taiwan is in 1994. Taipei is much different today than it was back then, just in terms of the skyline. And I've always enjoyed coming here. But we've established some tremendous business relationships, partnerships here. And our outlook for this marketplace, well, there is no ceiling. And we think there's a lot of synergies and interest as to what we're doing and what we can do together with investors out of Taiwan with our investment products in the United States. We're quite bullish on the future for the Walton Group of Companies, and in fact, I'm very excited about the direction of Walton at this point in time. But coming out of it, we went out and we really worked on our relationships with our existing partners in business and partners in business where we didn't have relationships in place. And over the last 2.5 years, we've established relationships with 16 of the 20 largest home building companies in the United States. And one builder in particular, the largest builder in the United States at this point in time, we've developed a very special relationship. With the relationships we have in place in the United States and the opportunities that we can provide these builders through the way that we structure and hold on to pre-development land and builder option land development properties as well, that we're going to be able to bring out, we're going to be able to raise a lot of capital, not just here in Taiwan, not just here in Asia, but globally. Because our investments are low risk, they're all equity, and what we're going to be able to bring is returns through growth and income as well. So we're quite excited in that regard, and 2020 is going to be the launching pad for Walton and our partners in business.